Hi friends, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Colby Sharp. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Michigan, and I'm super excited to share my 5 favorite 2018 fiction picture books. Before we get started, I want you to let me know down below why I'm wrong or what books you love more, or just tell me your favorite 2018 fiction picture books. Let me know down in the comments so that I can add to my to-read list, or we can celebrate other books, because limiting it to 5 was almost impossible. And the only reason I did it is because I'm going to be nominating these 5 books for the Nerdy Book Club Awards, which are due very soon. So if you're watching this in early December of 2018, please go to the link down below and be sure to nominate your favorite 2018 books for these awards. The first book I want to begin with is from Jacqueline Woodson and Rafael Lopez, The Day You Begin, which is just a gorgeous book. Jacqueline Woodson is a magical writer. She is a national ambassador for young people's literature for a reason. She writes beautiful, important books. And Rafael Lopez is the perfect illustrator for this book. This book is just absolutely breathtaking. And it's just the journey of a kid who's new, who's different, who is trying something for the first time. And I just love experiencing this book with students and reading about it and having them share times where they felt that they looked different than everyone else, they felt different than anyone else, they were new, and just helping us to celebrate and understand the differences that we all have and understand some of the fears we may have going into new places. Gorgeous book. The second one is probably top 5 funniest books I've ever read to kids. We Don't Need Our Classmates by Ryan T. Higgins. You may know him from the Mother Bruce series. This book is just hilarious. This kid goes to school, this T-Rex, and she walks into school and it's filled with humans, and she needs to not eat her classmates. Penelope Wrecks. I just love the illustrations, but I love when she gets to school. And I think the reader is just it's just so funny when she gets to school and there's kids there, then she eats them all and has to throw them up. It's so funny. It's so fun to experience to kids. Before I read it to kids, I bring them to the carpet and I say, friends, we're going to read a really serious book. I know sometimes we read funny books. I know sometimes we read silly books. I know sometimes we just read beautiful books. And sometimes we need to read a book because we're having some issues in our class and maybe this book can help us. So they're taking it really seriously. They're trying to think about the problems maybe we're having in class. And then I pull this out. Obviously, we're not eating each other, but it's a fun book. It's a fun way to introduce it to kids. The third book is Drawn Together by Min Lei and Dan Santat. A beautiful story of what seems like a grandfather and his grandson come from 2 totally different cultures, 2 totally different worlds. And the boy is dropped off at the grandfather's house to spend some time. And their food is different, the way they draw is different, just everything about them is different. And it is through art that they come together and that they just fall in love with each other, I guess. Beautiful book, one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. And the case is, they're just so breathtaking. The Grandfather's Sketchbook. The next book that I want to talk about is The Rabbit Listened by Corey Dorfeld. This book really was helpful to me as a teacher. Taylor, the main character in this book, builds something and it comes crashing down, and Taylor is very upset about it. And all of these creatures come to try to help Taylor in different ways, whether we get really upset or whether we cry about it or whether we throw a fit or pout, all of these different ways. And what Taylor really needed was someone to just listen. And as a teacher, I just want to fix things. Like, you're hurt, your feelings are hurt, let's fix it. Or your paper's messed up, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's fix. And this book just helped me to realize that our kids need different things at different times, and different kids need different things. So this book was super helpful to me. It led to a wonderful discussion when reading it aloud to my students. Rabbit Listen, it's really awesome. Finally, my 5th and final selection, What If by Samantha and Mike. This book is just a gorgeous celebration of creativity. I'm fascinated by how it was created, or how the idea came, which you should read in the author's note if you haven't. If you have read this book, read the author's note. It's magnificent. Just a story of how we make things, and if we don't have something, let's say with paper, we don't have paper, what can we use? And then if we don't have that, what can we use? And it just keeps going and going and going, and basically there's no excuse, is how I took it. There's no excuse for not making things. No what ifs. Let's do, let's make, let's create. Let's be awesome. So I love this book. It's a beautiful book to read to kids. It's a beautiful book to spark creativity and imagination. I loved it, and I hope all kids get a chance to read and discuss books like this. those are my 5. Let me know, again, in the comments below, what are your books? What are your favorite fiction picture books of 2018? I cannot wait to see what you have to say and to celebrate more books. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to nominate books for the Nerdy Book Club Awards. Have an awesome-tastic day and happy reading!